I really want us to touch on something because I see it in you, and I see like it's something that you can be able to help young ladies especially. You're a young woman yourself. I mean, you are 35. And 35, you know, when I say 35, people are like, what? Because it's 35 with so much going. Like how? You know? And so there's a lot of young ladies making mistakes, especially when it comes to marriage. There are things they are looking for, and you know, they want a man like this and like that. What would you tell them? Because there are a lot of wrong marriages that are happening based on what young ladies are looking for and are looking at.
So I would say this, you know, by the grace of God, I'm 35. And when people hear that, depending on where you stand, you can say, wow, that's old, or you can say, wow, that's young. But I believe, again, that bridging the gap, that's where I fit in. And I'm saying that because when it comes to the area of marriage, I get the older generation, 35 and up, who have still not gotten married, sometimes even 30 and up, who have still not gotten married. And then I'll get the 24 to about 28 who are now like, what about me? And I'm like, one, it is all about surrendering to God. A lot of people are not surrendering to God. And they feel like my chapter 8 or my chapter 35 should be their chapter 1. And many people see me in ministry and they're like, oh, you're so young. My first sermon was at 10 years old. I rededicated my life to Christ in college, and there were days where I would not go to school. I would be arrested with the Spirit of God. And so what you're seeing is an investment of many, many years in the Spirit. And so what God has given to me, I always tell people, you cannot envy me because I didn't give it to myself. God arrested me at a very, very young age. I was seeing visions at the age of 5, and I still remember them. And so when it comes to the area of a man, the Lord showed me my husband many moons ago. He showed me with him with a basketball in his hand and a white garment on. So I knew he carried a priesthood, and I also knew that he carried a level of sports. And so when my husband came around, I was like, this makes sense. I was even blown away. But in that time, what I was doing is I was praying that, Lord, deal with me. Deal with my bad behaviors, because many people are getting these good men, but as you said, they're not catching them in the spirit because the character is poor. They are immature. Sometimes I see 45-year-old women and they are so immature character-wise. They are so immature in the things of the spirit. They are so immature in the way they speak. And I'm like, how can God gift you with one of his best? You are praying for someone who is good for you. But what about someone who is praying that you should be good for them? You are not focusing on yourself at all. When it comes to even physically, people let themselves go. You see them walking around looking like the demon that we're about to cast out at church. It's like, no, you cannot. You gotta take more pride.
And you want a man of God.
And you want a man of God.
A man of God.
And you want a man of God. But he's supposed to take a whole demon. No. It doesn't work that way.